Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at me using Galarian Articuno in the Catch Cup, and I was able to actually go plus this with a Pokeball. This was probably due to the fact that the combat power was so low that it was just able to stay, because I've had many of them run away. Some of them were pretty low combat power, but I think this may be one of the lowest ones I've encountered. Now, just because that does happen doesn't mean it's going to be caught in your Pokeball when you do go plus it, so make sure you are paying attention to those daily instants so you can catch it, right? Or at least attempt to. So with that said, let's go ahead and invest in this thing and have a little fun here. As a matter of fact, the IVs are not bad for the Great League. I'm sure they can be a lot better, but hey, you know, I'll take this. If you're thinking, I mean, what do you want? What do you want? Okay, these are so random. I'll take it. At least it's not like high attack, because then it'll be a little bit less useless, right? So we're good. Now, we have another fun little guest here, and that is going to be Shadow Ferrothorn. Since we're going to be getting the Pharaoh Seed Instant Day very soon that we went over yesterday, I thought I'd go ahead and showcase this to you so you can see what's going on here. Definitely worth your investment for Shadow Ferrothorn if the IVs are good. I mean, if they're not the best, then I think it's still going to be okay. But with that said, let's see what we have going on here. For that third Pokemon, what do we have right now? Oh, we're using Poipole. I'm going to be swapping that out for a Donphin that, as a matter of fact, I caught right on the combat power that it is going to be, and I didn't even buy a secondary move. We're just going to go counter Body Slam. So if I encounter a Ghost, I'm screwed, right? So let's have a little fun here. But first, before we get into the commentary, it's seeming like the people who were defending Go Battle League all this time are now starting to get fed up with it as well. That's right, it's finally happening. The people who are the most brain dead about it and the most simpy for Niantic and defending it at every angle, no algorithm, it's not that bad, there's no cheating, on all this nonsense, is now starting to build up to the point where they are starting to become fed up with the game itself. And that's a very good thing, because once you have the core simpy audience actually detached and starting to become upset and not just agreeing with everything, then things are going to make a little bit of a change here. Well, hopefully, because there's going to be more noise, right? All right, with that said, though, let's have a little fun. I was getting pretty frustrated as they kept on hitting me with all kinds of wacky stuff here. Now, take a look at what we have. We are using Phalanx right now, and this is actually going to be 100, so I decided to just power it up. I spent like 150,000 Stardust, like 200,000 yesterday, and I barely used any of the Pokemon, okay? Cash Cup is garbage, absolute garbage. It also seems like they churned up the algorithm dial to 8 or something for my account, because I put on these two Pokemon weak to flying. I guess you can say Ferrothorn is not actually weak to flying, but it is kind of. And they gave me two flying type Pokemon. I'm like, this is unbelievable. But anyways, you all already know. You all already know what's up. But on the plus side, this Galarian Articuno is going to start hitting those ancient powers and getting the boost left and right. It was crazy. There was even a point where I do believe I got the boost. I retreated after I, did a couple of moves, right? And then I bring it back out and it gets the boost again. It was insane. But hey, let's go ahead and get into this commentary here. So they're bringing back that Pidgeot. We're going to go ahead and just go for the Thunder here. Such a good move to have on this, so you have that coverage for those flying types. And we're going to have a double KO. Yeah. All right, what do we have for the lead here? Fine. Fan-freaking-tastic. Can't complain about this, right? So we have a massive resistance to fighting, but still, Shadow Machamp is just so disgusting, and Galarian Articuno in the Great League is a little squishy. I'm going to have to say it is a little squishy. It can't take a hit. Oh, that's because of your IVs. Look, yeah, but not really. Even if you had the perfect IVs, it'll still be taking a lot of damage. It's not going to really change too much. Maybe a couple of extra quick moves. And we get the boost. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to use this last shield here and see what we have. So they're bringing in a Skeledirge. This is actually pretty nuts. I think they try to farm up more than they really should have. So we get to the, well, we got the boost. This is super effective. I don't know if it's going to KO, but it's going to be pretty close. Oh my goodness. And we do have the dumb Phalanx on the team still, so we're going to go ahead and just sacrifice this. It kind of just absorbs it. They swap, they have a Poliwrath, and I immediately bring in the Ferrothorn here. Unfortunately, they are going to be able to get off this Icy Wind, which is going to be bringing our attack down here. I farm up a little extra just so we're ready to go up against that Skeledirge, even though they have no health. We still need to get to this Power Whip here, and we are going to take the win with a Grass and Steel up against an Incinerate user. Let's freaking go. We are leading with the Galarian Articuno the entire time, and of course we're met with a Shadow Skarmory. Yeah, you gotta love it. All right, but again, so I don't want to compare this to something so extreme, but it's like generally people waking up in the world to the truth of what's going on. More pressure is going to be put on, and things could potentially change, but I'm not trying to go down this big political path, but you see where I'm saying. So hopefully with these people that were so dead set to be behind Niantic and, you know, rub their noose, will actually start putting the pressure on them as well. And some changes can happen, because again, the PvP community, it's not that big when it comes down to Pokemon Go, right? A lot of us do casually play it. There's a lot of just casual players out there, but when it comes down to the hardcore dedicated people who will defend it till the death, it's not that big, but they're very vocally loud, right? All right, so we're up against the what is that thing over there? Stunfisk. We're gonna farm it down. We have one shield left and a lot of energy. We're gonna go ahead and just start throwing the Power Whip here. Oh, that's not great. It's going to be a Trevenant, which is going to be super effective up against my Galarian Articuno with that Shadow Claw. But watch this. We're going to be able to Psycho Cut down the Skarmory and then go for the Ancient Power here, which should get a shield. Fantastic. And we have that energy. Now, this is not going to be very effective, but it's still going to do a lot because we're Shadow. So this is going to be pretty insane here. So we're going to go ahead and throw this. And let's go. We could have a double KO. Oh, we take the win. No way. I couldn't believe it. That's why you shouldn't back down when it comes down to these close matches. You have to wait until the last minute. Next game, we're met with a Mantane, and we do need to look out for Ice Beam, I suppose. And we're just going to, of course, start throwing these Ancient Powers. Now, when it comes down to throwing Future Sight, oh, we get the damn boost. It's going to be very far in between, because that's a lot of energy that could potentially just be shielded. And it seems like a lot of times going for Ancient Power is just going to be the better option. So yeah, if you're going to run this, I urge you to go with that. You could go Brave Bird, Future Sight, but you know, that's going to leave you kind of vulnerable with no bait there. Plus Brave Bird's lowering your stats. All right, so they're going to be swapping into their Shadow Abomasnow here, which is actually going to be good up against two of my Pokemon, right? Technically three. The Ferrothorn doesn't really want to see that too much either. All right, so we're going to bring in the Articuno and barely get to the Ancient Power and get the boost. Not that it really matters, but this thing really, I was really rooting for it. Okay, like it was a little bit troublesome at first because of the matchups, but then we started getting more comfortable knowing what it can take as far as the hits, shielding this, letting this go, and it really was freaking worth the investment. And now I have a Galarian Articuno. Let's go. All right, so they have a Pidgeot. This is gonna hurt. This should one-shot. Come on, Ferrothorn. Hey, it was a Shadow Pidgeot, so I think if it was a regular one, it would have barely survived. Next game, we're met with a shiny Victory Bell. I love to see this here. Now, we're not in the clear. They can still hit us with something that kind of hurts. I mean, even Leaf Blade is still gonna do, look. I mean, do you see what I'm talking about? How this thing can't take a hit? All right. Magical Leaf doing a little bit more damage than I was expecting here. And yeah, we're just going to have to work with that, though. We haven't shielded up once. Well, they've used both shields here. Now, they do have a good amount of energy, but we do have Ferrothorn, which is going to completely wall it. But they're going to be retreating with energy on that Victory Bell and bring in a Poliwrath. So we're just going to go ahead and one-shot that son of a gun right there. And we do have that Donphin that does not want to go up against Victory Bell whatsoever. So we're just going to let this all go. I mean, it's resisted. It is starting to add up, but we do have the Donphin in the back. And as long as there's no ghost types, I think we should be looking pretty good to take on a lot of different things, right? So this is really adding up. My gosh, look at this. Victory Bell withering down this thing. All right, so they do have a Incineroar in the back, which is going to be weak to counter, and they back out, which makes sense because I had two shields. There's nothing they can do. It was a waste of time. Next game, we're met with a Dubwool. Now, this could have Wild Charge, so we do need to be careful on that front. And I am going to go for the Future Sight here. This is one of the few times, and I do believe they let it go. Oh, fan-freaking-tastic. So I swap into the Donphin to maybe catch a Wild Charge. But they go for a body slam, so not the best here. And then they swap into Sock, which is interesting because, you know, it is the Catch Cup, so you probably will see some kind of random Pokemon here or there. And I don't want to say that the people that powered up Pokemon are tryhards because, you know, that's not the case. I mean, they're just playing the game, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't feel like investing 500,000 Stardust or something like that for Pokemon that I already have one of. It makes no freaking sense. But there are some of these people out here who, you know, maybe wanted to make a Pokemon and they didn't have it, and now's the time to make an arsenal and get ahead of everybody else, which to that I have to say, I don't blame you. So saying that people are tryhards for powering up a team, that's just a little weird. But anyways, we have a Poipole out here, which is going to kind of get shut down by the Ferrothorn. While they do resist the grass, the Thunder would have went right through them. So they do back out and we take that win. Next game, what are we going to see? A Prime or Annihilate. Okay, so this is still going to be able to combat us because they do have Ice Punch as well as Night Slash. So we're going to go ahead and shield up this first one here. Night Slash, super effective. Shadow Ball too, but we're so squishy that they don't even really need to get to the Shadow Ball, to be honest with you. So they're going to be shielding up the Ancient Power, which is great, and we're going to go straight for the Future Sight. Double shield? Oh, hell yeah, they let it go, and they're bringing in a Skeleturge. So that's not going to be necessarily great for my backline here, so I'm just going to go straight for a Future Sight to see if we can land it, and they let it go, which is a horrible thing because I could have got off 2 Ancient Powers. So now we have the damn Donphin, which all the moves are resisted, as we were talking about. Those ghosts are going to be, you know, resisting us with the moves that we do have, but they're retreating and bringing in a Snorlax. So I'm kind of contemplating what the hell should I do here. Okay, we'll throw the Body Slam, and we still have the Ferrothorn, but we can take super effective from a superpower. So we'll let this go, barely survive, hopefully get to another Body Slam later down the line here because Incinerate is so slow to register that damage. Bringing in the Ferrothorn, and we shield up a Body Slam. I thought it could have been a superpower. So we build up our energy to 100, getting off this Power Whip here. And if we can get to this Thunder, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one out. This is actually probably a loss. But I just thought I'd show you anyways. This is how I get caught up here. Yeah, not quite to the Body Slam, and that gave them time to farm up. So they are going to be able to take that win there. Probably screwed up a play here or there, but good game nonetheless. Next game, we're met with a Charge Bug. All right, can't complain. We've been having some pretty okay leads here. So we're going to go ahead and just swap into the Donphin, which is going to be resisting the Electric. And we do have the Ferrothorn that's also going to be resisting Electric. I just don't want to bring that out yet, as Donphin is going to be a somewhat decent safe swap here for the most part. Now, I'd be a lot better off if I had Earthquake, of course, but this person seems to know that I don't have Body Slam, and they just let it go on through. Right. But I guess we could just chalk it up to them calling it correctly, right? That's the only thing we can do because we've got no proof, right? Got no proof. So they're going to go ahead and throw another one here. And let's see what we are going to do. I think we're going to go with the Articuno. As much as I wanted to get off, I was contemplating, should I do Ancient Power or Future Sight? Ancient Power is not going to KO, but a couple more Psycho Cuts just might do it. But they're swapping and locking themselves. So we're going to retreat with energy and bring in the Ferrothorn here and kind of take control of the situation. Although they are ahead of us on energy, they did bring in a Stunfisk. So yeah, not necessarily the best for the Galarian Articuno. So, and I completely forgot about the Charge Bug in this game. All right, I forgot about it completely. I don't know what happened. When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. That son of a gun's still alive. All right, so we're really kind of taking them down a peg or two here. We're going to let this Rock Slide go yet again. Hit another Power Whip, and I do believe they shield this up. Okay, sounds good to me. And they throw. Fan-frickin-tastic. So we do have a bunch of energy on our Galarian Articuno. We're going to immediately throw the Future Sight here to take out this thing. And they're bringing back their Quagsire or their Clotsire. I could have went for an Ancient Power, then a couple more Psycho Cuts. That's a little bit of an overkill, but let's just go ahead and make sure the thing is gone, right? And here we go with the Charge Bug. They're going to get off an X-Scissor. But we get to the Future Sight before they get to the Discharge, and we're going to take the win with our Articuno when we did have a bad lead up against that Electric type. Let's go. Next game, what are we going to see? Oh, a Mantang. This was a pretty common thing that I was seeing. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's definitely good for the Catch Cup, but it also has to do with the team that I'm running. So, you know, Do I need to explain it again? It's basically going to be throwing particular Pokemon with specific moves at you, depending upon what Pokemon you are running. It's the manipulation of the algorithm. That's what we're dealing with here, right? Some people's accounts are on easy mode. Some people are on hard mode. And if you don't believe that to be true, I'm not going to say that's 1000% fact or even 100% fact. But it certainly does seem like that, right? It's a skill issue, they'll say. Look, if I go to an event, tell me that to my face, please. I'll go into Go Battle League and I'll show you. I'm not saying, oh, say it to my face and we'll start a fight. No, I'm not talking about that. Say it to my face so I can say, oh, really? Okay. So I can go into Battle League and show you the exact manipulation that I see. Then you go into it and I want to see what you are met with. Okay? Okay. All right. So we do have a Registeel out here. All right. This is actually not bad. This is not bad. They're shieldless. That's why this is not bad at all. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Ferrothorn here. And we definitely are going to be shielding this Focus Blast up. I don't know if that'll KO, but it'll pretty much bring us down into the red, if not KO us. Going for the Thunder, it's going to go right through this thing, taking them out, and they do have the Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and we're in a good position. This Shadow Ferrothorn's amazing. If you don't have a Shadow, the regular one works good too. This one's obviously just hitting harder. You already know the drill. Hitting harder and taking more damage. Bringing in the Articuno and going for the Future Sight here to KO the Galarian Stunfisk Steel type. This Galarian Articuno, I'm telling you, I had an absolute blast. Now, it's not so much like, man, this thing was killing it. Kind of sometimes, but it was more so a fun Pokemon to use. Something I've never used before. And it's also pretty rare. And I would assume when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, shoot, Galarian Articuno. That's cool, you know, because every time I see a bird, you know, it's exciting. So this this freaking Lucario here baits me twice. Baits me twice. Isn't that nice? All right, so they're swapping into their Annihilate. I'm going to continue to bait. We got the boost, so we are boosted at this point. We're getting our first shield out of them. I'm going to go for another one here. I would assume they know this is ancient power, so they're going to probably let it go. Or we can get 2 shields out of them. Oh, yeah. Now, we're shieldless, so there's nothing we can do. We're just going to have to eat this here. Now, this is not a good position to be in. And I think... Oh, okay, no, we're looking good. This is going to KO. Oh, yeah, this can do a lot of damage. So how's this going to work? What are they going to bring into the battle? Lucario, we farm him down. What's at the back? Clodsire. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Power Whip here, swap into the Donphan, and then just start going to town. As the counter is resisted, that Body Slam is going to be very spammable, so hopefully we will be able to take control of the situation here and take the win. But folks, this is going to be the last battle, so if you could, I'm going to ask you to please hit that like button. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me that you enjoy these types of videos. And with that said, hopefully you're having a good day, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!